Hello everyone. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at one of the built-in scenarios in Command. Now this particular scenario is super unique because it's basically the only naval battle that took place during Korea. It's pretty slick. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce this, but you can probably take that Chumonchin would be my guess there. Basically our situation is straightforward. There's a North Korean convoy with some ammunition transports as well as some motor torpedo boats and patrol craft that have just left the port of Chumonchin. Basically, our task here, looking through the instructions, is we're going to try to intercept these and do as much damage as we can. Looking down here with mission, I'm supposed to patrol the Korean coast and destroy any North Korean transports or warships. Execution, I'm supposed to do a sensor sweep of the area. Sounds like some radar to me. Supposed to be singing a minimum of 6 transports and sink a minimum of 3 of the escorts. So it sounds like the transports are going to be our priority. Unfortunately, we don't really have a lot of knowledge here other than we know that there's some civilian yunks, there's some armed ones, as well as some of these TK P4s, which are Project 123Ks. It's basically the commercial version of the Project 123 torpedo boat. We all, of course, know that we have some excellent cruisers, which we'll check out in just a minute. So let's see our scenario. So when I'm playing an actual in-game scenario, a lot of times I find I have to play the scenario 3 or 4 times just to get a feel for all the kind of nuances and sort of what they want you to do. Believe it or not, in my opinion, most of these command scenarios are really just a puzzle, and it's simply a matter of finding how the puzzle goes together in order to optimally approach these different scenarios. I mean, some people can look at all strategy as basically a fancy puzzle where you don't always get all the pieces. One thing I have done is I've opened up my scenario minimap deck here just to make my life a little bit simpler. There's also a neat cheat built into this, and I'll show you that in a minute. So let's take a look at what we have here. We have the Jamaica, which is a cruiser. I believe the biggest gun it can carry, let's see here. We have some 6-inch guns as well as some 4-inch guns. Chances are if we get within range of the 4-inch guns, we've already goofed up. As far as weapon directors goes, looks like we have two weapon directors, 2 different types of radar, and it looks like both of our big guns can be controlled by those weapons directors. Keep in mind, in the old days, it's difficult to see probably in this picture here, but you used to have these little towers on both ends of the ship, and these towers had your range finders and radars and everything. They basically could point all the guns and provide everybody with a way to do it. The big thing you need to know about a weapon director, of course, is if this thing turns, it might block a weapon director, making it very difficult to aim properly. So that's just something worth noticing. The other thing I want to take a look at here is like I do in all my scenarios is I'm very interested to know what kind of ranges I have at my disposal. So I notice I've got these, like I said, 5-inch guns here. Let's see what we got as far as range. 12 nautical miles. Nice. That's not bad. I can work with that. Swinging over here, we have the Black Swan, which is a frigate. Let's see here. How many weapon directors do we have here? I see 1 weapon director, which doesn't surprise me because, again, if you think about a destroyer for a second, the weapon director, such as you can get lucky and actually see the weapon director, but I don't see it here. It's probably sitting up here somewhere. A lot of times there's a little tower in the back. So basically, taking a look at this from the picture, you can tell I've got a lot of smaller guns. What do we have as far as range? So we have 4-inch guns with a range of, let's just take a look real quickly here. Okay, the surface is about 6 nautical miles. That's actually really effective. Coming down here, of course, we have the anti-aircraft cruiser. This is, as you know. Let's go ahead and take a look. Wow, that's a real cruiser. This is actually kind of a neat story about this ship. Basically, towards the end of World War II, the Americans basically needed to come up with a system that they could put just as much AAA into the air as possible. So they ended up taking these huge cruisers and basically loading them up with anti-aircraft guns. It's a really, really neat thing here. So let's see what we have. We have a pair of weapon directors here, pretty limited range, but they're not bad. What do we have as far as the big stuff goes? All right, so we have some 5-inch guns here. Oh, variable time, that's not bad. What do we have for the 5-inch guns as far as range? Up to 9 nautical miles. Okay, that's not too bad. So next thing I like to do whenever I play a scenario, of course, is I like to go double check to see how people do on the other side here. Let's see, we've already gone through all that. Let's see what North Korea's got here. Facilities. Uh-oh, 76 millimeter model 1902s dug in. All right, that kind of bothers me a little bit because those actually have a little bit of reach to them, if I recall correctly. Let me just confirm real quickly what the range on those is going to be. We don't want to take any damage. We should be able to complete the scenario without even getting shot at, to be honest. Let's see, it's got a 4 nautical mile range, so we can definitely stay outside of its range and effectively engage it. Let's take a look, of course, at ships. We have some Yunks here. Let's see what the armed one's carrying. 50 caliber. We got a little bit smaller than that. Oh, an RPG with a range of 0.8 nautical miles. Yikes. I'd be pretty impressed if they could get that close. And then let's go ahead and take a look at the last option here. Again, I recommend doing this for every scenario you play. Let's see here. We have some of these 14.5. These are the cord, basically not quite autocannons. And we also have these 45, 36N torpedoes. Let's see, it's 450. Taking a look real quickly. No, not terribly reliable. 3 nautical mile range. That means if anything gets us within 3 nautical miles that carries a torpedo, we're in a lot of trouble. So we're going to have to kind of keep that in our mind. Basically, it's sort of the equivalent of grabbing somebody's heads when they're swinging at you and they can't hit you kind of a deal. So anyway, let's get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my radar platforms here. I always like to use the trick of using a frigate or a destroyer to go ahead and act as my eyes. Go ahead and unpause for a second here. And repause. All right, let's take a look at the tactical picture here. So we can see we have some cities. Don't waste ammunition on cities, please. And we have a huge group of boats here. So in the real world, of course, we're very, very concerned with attacking civilians. So let's go ahead and double check to see if there are any civilians here. Looks like there is the possibility of civilians. And again, we don't want to accidentally mess this up. Because if we attack a civilian, oh, nope, they've definitely got civilian ships. We don't want to kill civilians, basically. So we need to identify which one of these are potentially dangerous. So let's go ahead and zoom in real quickly here. So my initial instinct tells me that if I had to guess, these are either civilians or escorts, and these are probably going to be my convoy. I noticed along the shore there, these are probably those 76-inch guns. Yeah, millimeter rather. That'd be a big gun if it was 76-inch. We know that they have a range here, so that's basically going to be my no-no range. So the first thing I'm going to do is set up a zone to prevent me from accidentally entering into their dangerous range, because there's no reason why I should have to get even that close to them at any given point. So I'm going to go ahead and create basically a no navigation zone just for my ships. This is a great way to do this. And you can do this again in single player as well. Again, the purpose of this is just to keep us from accidentally drifting into their gunfire range, because it'd be very embarrassing to lose a ship or even take damage at all because we weren't smart enough to go ahead and establish some kind of safety net around the target region. All right, that looks a little bit better. Cool, I like that. All right, next thing we want to do is we need to start figuring out who's hostile and who's not. You probably noticed, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and pause for a second here. You probably noticed that this map got bigger. And the reason is a lot of map designers actually spawn in small civilian units that you can't see. But at the very least, now we can identify there's something out there because the map got bigger. I know that's a little second guessing. Okay, let's see what we got here. Switch to star mode. Pause. We've immediately identified a PT. That's obviously going to be hostile. We've identified a second PT. That's also going to be hostile. Did we identify any others? Oh, we got another one. And let's see here. Anything else that I'm too worried about? Doesn't look like it. Not yet. Okay, so we know we're in trouble. We've got to do something. So PTs have a lot of speed usually. And if I recall correctly, the ships that are going to be coming at us are going to be moving. So we need to get our cruiser and our frigate to be able to concentrate their firepower in their direction at the same time, almost kiting them a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly estimate the range here. That's about 12.2 nautical miles. That makes sense. What is 12.2 nautical miles away from the ocean? That's about going to be right there. That looks like a pretty good spot. I think I like that. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to order him to move over here as fast as he can at flank speed. Meanwhile, I'm going to get my frigate and I'm going to order him to move over here at flank speed as well, so that he can bring his weapons to bear on these incoming intruders. Next, of course, I'm going to go down here and yell at this guy to get back at flank speed, because we need some help. So he's got to get here as fast as he can. And again, I'm leaving his own radar on at this time. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I'm feeling fairly confident. The last thing I want to do is go check my doctrine and rules of engagement real fast. Let's see here. I know what the shortcut key for that is. Let's see here. Ignore plotted. Engage opportunity targets on. I don't want to be wasting time ordering each individual shot here. It's just much simpler to do that. Once they're identified as hostile, they'll start firing. All right, let's go ahead and unpause. So what the Jamaica is going to be doing right now is basically, after it's finished accelerating, it's just going to start taking pot shots at these PTs with its bigger 6-inch guns, which is, honestly, I feel like I'm glad they don't charge us by the shell, because that would be a little embarrassing. Meanwhile, I'm going to zoom in and see if we are able to identify any more of these ships. See, this ship's making me almost more nervous than the PTs, because what's smaller than a PT that has that kind of acceleration and it's coming right for us? So that bothers me a little bit. If he exceeds 20 knots, I know it's, yeah, come get some. Let me see here. Just confirm that real quickly, that it didn't make a horrible mistake. What's the top speed of this thing? I just cannot believe how fast that thing can accelerate. Bingo. Its top speed is 18 knots. Uh-oh. So it's a pretty safe bet that something doing 28 knots is probably not friendly, especially if it's coming right at us. Yep, he's doing quite a bit of speed as well. All right, Jamaica, at any time you may start the proceedings. Now, keep in mind that Jamaica now has both of his batteries and both of his directors able to engage. Unfortunately, my frigate is out of range, which is why he's got to get here as fast as he possibly can so that he can start lending his firepower, weight of fire, to the situation here. I'm still waiting. It's the PTs are the ones I'm most worried about, to be honest. Speed up time a little bit. He's acquiring them with his gun director, I'm sure, working out his range. They're getting really close, man. Still wait. There we go. Fortunately, you made them so. That one's got splattered. Come on. Concentrate that fire. Don't let them get in range. Come on, frigate. Get into range here. Why are you not firing? Oh, now he's allowed some automatic fire. Let's grab both of these. Allocate 5 rounds each. No need to waste ammunition, right? Actually, that's 4-inch guns. So we want to use stuff that's bigger. Seriously? There we go. Now we're using both weapons directors at the same time. But that was a bit of a surprise. I believe they're almost going to get in torpedo range, so we might have to zigzag just in case. Ah, there's the frigate's firepower. All right, I'm going to order my cruiser to quickly do a zigzag just in case they put torpedoes in the water. Here comes our next hostile. I'm already going to start ordering him to go ahead and fire at this one as well. Now our frigate, of course, is going to help us out with that. Oh, they're coming at us. Don't know why he's being so lazy here. Let's go ahead and expose that side. I think none of these are friendly. You guys are in range. What are you waiting for? See something? Yeah, I've got that set correctly. Come on. There we go. Ah, looks like those are civilians and they're getting away. Oh, I think I see the issue. It's because of my navigation zone. Yeah, that was the problem. Oh, geez, they're all coming at me. Now, as soon as that one gets into the danger zone, yeah, he's going to get cut to pieces. There's my mistake. I'm actually going to order the frigate to slow down now. I'm going to bring the cruiser back up to full speed. I don't know why he decided to slow down himself. I'm actually going to take a look at my no navigation zone. And it looks pretty good. Bummer. Oh well. So, user beware. Oh, this is a slaughter. Oh, that is not good. Why did my frigate slow down? I'm gonna order back up to flank here. I don't trust any of these guys. Cool. Looks like we've done a pretty good job here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to order my cruiser to go ahead and start engaging those shore batteries. Oh, he fired a torpedo. Why'd you waste a torpedo on that? Ugh, it dissolved. The other thing I should keep an eye on is down here. It looks like there's a skunk out to sea as well. Oh, shoot. He's moving very slow, so I doubt that he's going to be related to that transport group there. Splat. Oh, don't attack the city. We're going to have to tell them, of course, not to engage any opportunity targets, because otherwise they're just going to waste shells on something that can't actually be destroyed. Stop it. Thank you. Feel free to hose that civilian, though. Yeah, it's a transport junk. Go right ahead. And he starts shooting at the city again. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and delete my no navigation zone. I'm actually going to remove this, and I'm going to remove this. to allow my cruiser to start going to town. Of course, I'm going to bring this guy very cautiously into range here. I'm going to grab my other cruiser, bring him very cautiously into range here. Go ahead and slow the cruiser down to something a little bit more meaningful as far as speed goes. And say goodbye to everything on the ground. Can't emphasize this enough, though. Stay out of range of their guns. Oh, yeah, this is going to end poorly for the North Koreans. There we go. I think this is going to be pretty much all set. Unassign. Do one of those. Order you guys to attack these. Send him down to cruise speed. Send that one down to cruise speed as well, because they don't want accidentally to fall out of range. Oh yeah, sweet. So not only did we get all of their transport ships, but we also did quite a number on their shore batteries. Got to be really careful when you shoot over the nose of one of your own ships. I wonder how that shore battery's feeling right now. And done. Got it. So, of course, we have our one guy who's still out to sea there. I'm actually going to order my frigate to go check that one out. Now I'm going to get my two buddies here. I'm going to go ahead and set one over here. Where's my cruiser? I'm going to go ahead and set that one over here. Drop you guys down to cruise speed. Again, our orders were to patrol the coast. All right, let's go ahead and intercept this one. He's not going very fast, so I'm not too concerned. Back up to speed, please. Let's go check it out. Oh, we picked up another one. It's a fishing vessel. All right, not a problem. Let's go check out this one too. What do we got? Civilian. Uh-oh. It's promising. Promising. Nope, fishing vessel. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start cruising down the coast here. Start seeing if there's anything interesting worth shooting at. All right. Whoa, pick something up. 2 knots. That's probably a fishing vessel. Civilian, looking promising, looking promising. And it's a fishing vessel. All right. We did our due diligence. Let's see, we have 30 minutes to go in the scenario. And I don't think we're going to get a perfect score. Stop. Let's see how we did. 2750. Not a perfect score. All right, let's see why. Okay, oh boy. Oh man, I can't wait to get the bill for that. Oh, that's probably why we used the torpedo. Let's see here. Pretty good amount of ammunition. We blew up everything they had. They didn't get a single shot off. Let's look at my scoring. That's what it was. My stupid torpedo cost me the mission. It's no fun. You can see where my torpedo got launched. So anyway, hopefully this was interesting. It's just kind of a way that I approach scenarios. Like I said, I love scenarios like this because they're so straightforward and easy to use. And again, finish the entire scenario basically in 20 minutes without too much difficulty there. Mistakes I made, obviously, that no navigation zone prevented me from attacking the targets before it was too late, which could have been very bad if they had a more effective torpedo, but it ended up working fairly well. In the real world scenario, of course, what basically ended up happening is the naval vessels shot back at the gunships. One of them got badly damaged. Everybody else turned around and ran away. And the naval ships were smart enough not to pursue them into shore because of the possibility of short batteries. All right, hopefully this is interesting too. I'm sure you guys would like something a little bit more modern, but maybe we'll check that out next time. Enjoy.